Hi guys. So I'm recording right now my Q&A answers, and I already did this 34 minutes of talking, and there's no sound. So I have to redo it after I've calmed myself down a little bit. So anyway, so here we go with the first question that I got, which is from Barbs, the modified Barbie. Hi Barbs. Anyway, her questions are, how tall are you? I am 5'7". I'm considered tall as a girl, I guess. I'm a tall girl, I think so. I used to be taller than everyone, and when I was 16, I stopped growing, and now everyone is taller than me. So, I don't know. I still think I'm pretty tall for a girl. So, her next question is, what did you want to be when you grew up? That is a serious question for me because when I was small, I wanted to be a lawyer, but then I was like, I don't know if I could be a lawyer because I don't want to defend a murderer or a rapist, a child molester. I don't want to defend those people because if they admit to me that they did it, I would feel morally obligated to tell because I hate child molesters. I hate rapists. You know, I don't like it. So I can't see myself lying to get them off and have them walk this world. So, and then I'd probably be disbarred by breaking that code with the client. So, yeah. Then I wanted to become a scientist. And the reason I wanted to become a scientist is because my dad, I don't know if I shared this, I might have shared it before, but my dad died of HIV/AIDS when I was maybe 8 years old, 7 or 8. He died, and I watched my dad, pretty much this 6'3" handsome, gorgeous specimen of a man, you know, deteriorate. And I'm not just saying that because he's my dad. My dad really was a handsome man. A lot of people say he looks like Eddie Murphy, but my dad was a very handsome, medium build man, and then he just was like a stick, when he was passing away. And it was like really bad to watch him die like that. And my mom, me, my sister, we took care of him until he had to be hospitalized, and he died, and I couldn't go to his funeral because I was too young, and they buried him in Georgia. So his family buried him in Georgia, even though my mom was totally against it. But you know anyway, that's why I wanted to become a scientist. Then, when I graduated high school, I actually had no idea on where to begin to become a scientist. And then I wasn't good at math, and I'm really not. So then I set my sights on becoming a nurse. I could help people that way, which I actually accomplished. In 2010, I graduated college with an associate's degree in medical assisting. And, you know, I worked as a nurse, and I worked for a horrible doctor. Very, very horrible doctor. He was stealing from insurance companies, and, very horrible man. And I will get to that. He fired me for finding out about what he was doing, by the way. But I'm not going to get all into that right now. But one good thing I saw about my encounter with that doctor is that he opened my eyes to something else that I loved, which was physical therapy. And I absolutely loved working with the patients like that, healing them with my hands, not with medicine. You know, I have very strong hands for massaging, so I was highly requested in the office. Sometimes if patients, you know, came in and I was on my lunch, they would sit and wait 2 hours for me or an hour for me to come so I can work on them. That's, you know, how good I was. And my doctor didn't like that. You know, he didn't like the fact that I had people waiting on me, which is so stupid. You would think that he would like that and bring him more business. I brought him a lot of business because I knew a lot of people. So, you know, but anyway, I loved helping people with my hands instead of medicine. So, being that I am going through some health issues right now, I did want to start going to school, but I'm still going to try to go back to school for physical therapy because I really want to open my physical therapy business. You know, I want to start my own business in that field. So, that pretty much sums up what I wanted to be when I grew up. And her last question is, what's your biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve are parents who don't take care of their children. Parents who are dressed nice and have their hair done, fresh brush cut or fresh twist if they're a guy and they have dreads or they have a brush cut. They're fresh looking, but their kids look like trash. I hate that with a fucking passion. Like, if you can dazzle yourself up like that, why you can't do that for your child? Like, I hate that. Ugh. There was this happened like last week. I had my goddaughter and I had my daughter. Now, my best friend, which is the mother of my goddaughter, she is like me. She doesn't like to see dirty children. So she always keeps her baby nicely dressed. But this, when I took her to the park or whatever, you know, my baby and my goddaughter were dressed so nice. Both of them had on nice little outfits with, you know, Jordans, just looking so cute, hair done and everything. But I see this little boy. I thought it was a boy, but it was really a girl, and she was filthy. She had no hair. Her mom had cut off her hair, and I guess she felt like since she cut it, she didn't have to comb it. So she had like knots and matted up hair. And I was just like, really? Then she had her other baby there. Her other baby had on a tiny ass t-shirt with a diaper and no shoes. No bottom, just a shirt with the diaper and no shoes at the playground. And I'm just like, and she dressed up. Her hair is done, looked like she had a fresh weave in. Hair was done, nicely dressed, but her children just looked like trash. And I was just like, ugh, like, bitch, you just disgusting. I can't stand piss poor slack ass excuses for parents like that. You know, you won't dare catch my baby outside like that with a freaking, if she ain't got on no clothes, if she want to roam free, she do that in the house, okay? Not outside at no playground. You know, like, come on, man. Just come on. You know, that's part of the reason why I left my daughter's father, because he was a piss poor excuse for a father. Piss poor excuse for a father. He tells people that, you know, the reason I keep our child away is because he don't want me. I don't want him. I left him, okay? I left him. But the reason I left him, what was the last fucking straw, was when I let him keep my baby for 3 days. 3 days. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I was up looking at the phone, hoping nothing happened, wanting to call, but I was like, no, I'm going to just let him be. I wrote him instructions on what he was supposed to do, but I could not sleep. He had my child filthy. He didn't bathe her for 3 days. He didn't bathe her. Her clothes, her skin, her hair, everything was drenched in smoke. Drenched in marijuana smoke. Okay? My baby's eyes was red like she had got some type of contact high. But she smelled as if she was the goddamn smoker. You know, like, and I went the fuck off. Like, you fucking crazy, got my baby looking like this. And then he took her out and took pictures with her, and she was just fucking filthy. And she was in the same outfit I sent her in 3 days ago. The only thing he did was changed her shirt. And I was just like, hell no. I was gonna fight this nigga, okay? You ain't gonna have my baby looking like that. I will beat your motherfucking ass. Don't play with Mama Bear, okay? Because Mama Bear will fuck you up about her cubs, okay? I ain't the one for that. Not the one for that. I told him he wouldn't see her no more after that, and I meant that shit. You ain't gonna mistreat and neglect my baby and have her dirty. I got on my hands and knees, okay? Scrubbing her car seat, scrubbing her stroller to get the stench out. The clothes he didn't even use, towels, washcloths he didn't use, I had to wash them anyway, even though they were clean, just because they smelled like marijuana. I had to throw out the diaper bag because it smelled like marijuana. And I was just like, no, she ain't going over there no more. Hell to the motherfucking no. Hell no, she ain't going over there. And I took a picture of her. But I'm not going to show it because I don't want nobody seeing my child like that. So I'm not going to show it. But I saved the pictures for court in case he want to try me and say he want custody or some shit. And I'm just like, no, Your Honor, look at this picture at how I got my baby back. You know, like, I ain't having it. So that's my pet peeve. That is a huge pet peeve of mine. Okay. I know I spent a long time, but you asked the question. Okay. And the next set of questions is from Keonta Williams. And I remember her. She has been a subscriber to me for a long time. Like, since I had like 500 subscribers, she's been subscribed to me for a long time. And her question is, what other hobbies do you do? I sing, and I put some clips of my singing in, on my channel. If you want to see some videos of me singing, you could just look through the channel. What else? I play video games a lot. I like to read comic books. I'm a big comic book junkie. I love comic books. I computer surf. I help people with their electronics all the time. My phone is constantly ringing about fixing electronics and computers and stuff. So, yeah. And I take my baby to the park, and I make it a habit to play with her, a lot and stuff. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it on that one. And her other question is, do you ever plan to open your own practice of physical therapy? And I think I answered that question already in the first set of questions. And the next question is from Queen Mykea. I think I'm saying that right. And her question is, are you going to have more kids, and is your boyfriend now your child's father? Okay. My boyfriend now is not my child's father, okay? And as far as me having more kids, I cannot lie. I have been experiencing some bouts of baby fever, and that is something that I think all mothers experience. And I'm not sure if I want to have any more children, but my boyfriend wants children. But I'm a little bit scared because my pregnancy was horrible. I was a horrible pregnant woman. I was crying a lot, and then when I cried, I peed, and when I laughed, I peed. When I was throwing up, I peed. I mean, I I hated it so much. Like, oh my God, I was just ready to have the baby. But I was very miserable. But I do miss having a little baby, having my baby and feeding her, breastfeeding. I so miss breastfeeding. I do miss it, but I don't know. I think I want to have more kids, but not now. Not at this moment. Um, so yeah, but my boyfriend, he definitely wants children. And for a long time, I thought I couldn't have children because I was told that. And then every time I got pregnant, I miscarried. So I thought, the doctors were right. I wouldn't have any children. So, and then I actually got pregnant, and, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. But it's so many answers to that question. But yes, I think I might have children in the future. More children in the future. So, okay, my next question is from Brittany Fobbs. And her question is, how did you find out you were pregnant, and do you want more children? I just answered that one, the last question. And how I found out I was pregnant was pretty bizarre. But I found out I was pregnant when I worked at the doctor's office, and I was sick. I was really sick. And my manager was like, "Are you pregnant?" And I said, "I don't think so. No." And she was like, "You want to take a test to be sure?" And I'm like, "Okay." So she gave me a blood test and sent it to LabCorp. Then I came into work, sat at my desk, set everything up, and then there was a fax from LabCorp telling me that I was pregnant. And my mouth was just like, I was like, how far along am I? Oh my fucking goodness. Like, oh my God. That's what I kept saying, right? So I called my manager first. She was the first person I told. And she was like, "Oh my God, really? I'm the first person? Oh my God." She was happy. And I was like, "Yeah." Then I called my best friend, and then I called the dad. Now, the reason why I say that it was bizarre, because that day when I came into work, I told myself, you know what? I'm not gonna mess with Desmond no more. I'm gonna change my number. I'm gonna leave him. This is gonna be it. I don't want to deal with him no more. And lo and behold, I get those results telling me that I'm pregnant, and I was like, and I said, well, so I tried to stick it out, and yeah, he was an asshole. It pretty much sums it up. I was miserable when I was pregnant, very miserable. He didn't make it any better. He would massage my feet now and then, but I was miserable and he was an asshole. He used to make comments about my body like, why are you losing weight? Why are you not gaining weight? Now, when I first found out I was pregnant, when I first went to the first doctor's appointment, I mean to say, and I found out I was pregnant with twins, and I was just like, whoa, whoa. So the doctor, when I found that out when I went to the hospital, because I was experiencing some bleeding and I was sick really bad. So the doctor came in with like 5 nurses, and they were all smiling, and I'm just like, what's going on? And they were like, well, the babies are fine. And I was like, wait, what? Because at first the babies are fine. And I was like, okay. But then it caught me that he said babies. And I was like, what? What? And he was like, you're having twins. And I was like, what? What? So, it was a shock, and I told the dad, I told my ex at the time, and and he was happy, and he was kind of upset at the same time because he had no job, but I had a job, and I ended up getting laid off because of what I told you earlier about the doctor I used to work for. So I had to get an ultrasound when I was in the hospital. And normally ultrasounds are, less than an hour. But I had a 3-hour ultrasound done. And the person who was doing my ultrasound, she was like, do twins run in your family? And I told her, I said, no. She was like, okay. I said, why? Is something wrong? She was like, no, nothing's wrong. She didn't tell me anything, but she was trying to see if there were 2 babies in one sack. So I was tripping out, like tripping the fuck out. I thought, wow, three. So I'm like, wow. Then, gosh, when I was going to my second appointment to see how far along I was 5 weeks and 6 days for baby A, and baby B was 5 weeks and 4 days. And baby A had a heartbeat, and baby B did not have a heartbeat. So the other woman was telling me that it just looks like it's one baby in each sack. So she was like, there's not triplets, it's just one in each sack. It's just the way that that baby A is laying kind of makes it look like it's more than one baby in there. And I was like, oh, like, whew, like, okay. So then when I was about 16 weeks, I had lost one of the twins and found out when I gave birth that it was a boy. And because you could clearly see it, even though it started to deteriorate, but you could see, they told me that it was a boy because I asked after they told me they were able to take it out. So It was very small, but they were able to tell that it was a boy. So um I was like, wow. And my ex blamed me for it, but he doesn't realize he put me through a lot of stress. I was very stressed. I cried a lot. You know, it was so bad. And he made me feel horrible. He always made like not compliments. He would give me compliments, like tell me I'm beautiful, but at the same time he'll be like, "Why is your stomach shaped like that?" Because I had what they would call a B-shaped belly. I didn't have an A shape, which is a fully round belly. I had a B-shaped belly. So, you know, he would make comments about my belly, and then he would say, "What happened to your ass?" Because when I started to push out, my stomach started to grow. I had no butt, it looked like. So he would say, "What happened to your ass?" And I would just look at him like, "You such an asshole." You know, he was such a fucking asshole. That's why we're not together. And the fact that, you know, he neglected my baby, but he's an asshole. So yeah. I'll put some pictures of my pregnancy belly, my ultrasound, and a picture of my daughter when she was born. So here you go. Okay. So my next question from Bubby Dell 06. What kind of laptop do you have, and would you recommend it? Okay. I have a Sony Vaio, and fuck yeah, I recommend it. It's a Sony, okay? Anything Sony, I recommend. I love Sony. Sony is the bomb.com, okay? Fuck yeah, I recommend it. So, yeah, that's it on that question. And the last question that I got is from D Rio Tingle, and it is, could you show us more pictures of your hair when it was free-forming? If you have if you have some. Okay, I saw that. um I'm just starting locks on longer hair, and I'm kind of semi free-forming right now, so I kind of want to see what my hair would look like. um okay, so I'll show you some pictures of my hair when I was semi free-forming, and yeah. Here you go. Okay, so yeah, those are all the questions. And if you have any other questions or anything like that, feel free to leave them below or message me. I don't mind. And yeah, that's it. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.